Hello, it's Sunday evening and I'm here for my weekly update. First, I figured I would go over what my finishes were for this week. So, this I made a table topper for a table that has a lamp post that comes up at this point in the table in the back for it's an end table with a lamp attached to it. So I made this, and this was made out of the corners that were cut out when I was making the open gate cone flower project, which was the December subscription box. So I'll show you. This was the December open gate subscription box called Coneflower. Here it is. I got this done today. And these were made from the pieces that were cut out of those flowers. While I was making them, I couldn't throw them away, so I made them into something else. So that's a finish. Here's the quilting that I did. I did some satin stitching on some of these around the big flowers in the border, and stippled in black around the rest of that black border, and then stippled and straight stitched in other areas of this, as you can see. And then here's the stem and the leaves. I'll be keeping this. I really like this. Finish for today. Coneflower. Open gate December. Also in the December subscription box was this bag, which is lined and closes like that. Very nice gift bag. So I'll be making more of those to use for gifts. So those three. Everybody's been waiting for Mexican Star. That's also been finished this week. And here we are. Mexican Star. I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up. So this was my January Crazy Moose Fabrics UFO Challenge project. Here's the corners where you flip them like to make it look curved. And you do the same in this part. I had shown that previously. So there you go. There's a close-up of the Mexican Star. And I had this backing that I used from my stash, which I think goes very well with it. Yes. So that's another finish, Mexican Star. I got Seers Club January subscription box. And this is the finished product. Now, I got advice. I did an opening for this, and I got advice from Jay Kerr. Thank you very much, Jay Kerr, who said that she added fusible fleece to the handle to give it a little sturdier handle, and I did that also. However, my machine needle did not like going through all the other fusible fleece and this, so I think I would probably cut off the fusible fleece here where it goes into the seam the next time, because I did have bent needles, and I should have switched to a jean needle, which I ended up doing. So these zipper This zipper coil is put in where you separate the zipper and you sewed it onto one end and then you sewed it onto the other end. And eventually you are attaching these zipper pulls on either side. So that's a skill that I've learned through Seers Club. I've been very happy to, I have to watch their tutorials, I must say. So the inside has, but the edges are bound on the inside. The side seams have binding on them, and the corners have bindings on them. So I have it completely finished inside and out. I used it today at our Stitch and Bitch with my wonderful sewing sisters, and this fits a lot in it, and everybody loved it. And I will be using this myself very much. Zipper. So that is the Seers Club finished. Renee's Retreat Bag is what it's called. So if you want to get this kit from Seers Club, go to their website, and I'm not sure if they have it available right away because this is January's kit, but I'm sure they'll probably have this. At some point where you can order this kit, and you get everything you need. I did go into my stash for the additional fusible fleece here, so use a thinner one than what the bowl sole that was used for this. And I quilted myself. You quilt your fabric the way you want it. So this was, I used washi tape, laid it out, and then sewed on either side of the washi tape to make these diamond shapes. Next, I had scrap cutting. And these are the bags. This bag, did a lot of scrap cutting. Another bag, and another bag. So that was my scrap cutting for a minimum of 3 days, 30 minutes each session. And it, of course, based on this, it went over. These are the garbage. Oops. Well, I'll have to clean that up. But this is the garbage. And I have a bag here that I'm collecting those in, which might be for stuffing at some point somehow. But in the meantime, I'm just collecting that. That's how much I have right now. Here's my crumbs from this week. So right now I have a total of 3 crumb blocks made from this year. This was the latest one that I just completed this week. So those are my crumb blocks. These are, I made them into 10-inch because I do have 10-inch squares in my scraps cut. So if I wanted to use these with other fabrics, the 10-inch squares, these would be the right size then. So those are my finishes for this week. And the upcoming week, this is what I will be working on. I told you previously that I'm doing the Kim Deal Simple Whatnots for mystery project that she tells you every week to go in and find this page and do these steps. So I've done 2 steps so far, and this, I'm using my scraps, and the first step made this, and the second step made this outer border that I just got those instructions on Friday. So I'll be getting new instructions on the 24th for that. And when I was making this, you are cutting off like snowballing. Seems to be a lot. So of course I couldn't throw those away. So I had to make those into some pinwheels, which I will decide what to do with at some point. So I will be working on the Kim Deal mystery project after I get those instructions. Since I got my January Crazy Moose UFO challenge project done, I can now work on the quarterly project that was picked. And for me, that was called Judie's Album Quilt. And this belonged to a friend of mine, a wonderful dear sister friend of mine who was killed in a car accident this summer. This came from her stash. We had bought, she had bought this because Judie, her name is Judie. She had bought this when we'd make trips to Keepsake Quilting's tent sale when they were in New Hampshire. So she's had this for a long time, but it was a block of the month, but she only got it from the tent sale at it was like $2.99 maybe, with included the fabric, but it's only for blocks 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to be, these are the 3 blocks that it was included in 2 packages, which were the same, and those are the 3 blocks. And I'm going to use the fabric and make as many of those as I can, which will probably be maybe 12. And I got 2 blocks done so far. So and then I will decide, once I get as many blocks from the fabrics made, I will decide if it's going to be a table runner or wall hanging, or I'm not sure how big it's going to end up being. But that is my quarterly project. This is what it would be if I had all of the instructions and all the material, but we're dealing with 3 blocks from up here. So we'll see what it makes. And then we got the Open Gate January had a Moda challenge. I guess Moda has a challenge, but Open Gate is doing their own challenge, where you make a 9-inch block using all the fabrics that they provided in this little packet, which is this. Beige, so like low volume, all low volume here. And then this Moda fabric that is 1 strip, 1 5-inch strip, but it has fabrics are printed separately on this one width of fabric. See? And the challenge is to come up with a 9-inch block and submit that to Open Gate, and they're going to be voting on that. You can either do that, or you could make the pattern it into the block that they have a pattern for. But I think I'm going to do the challenge. So that's something that I might be working on this week. All depends how everything else goes. My friend from Dixie Quilters, Marlene, talked me into going to the Coriander Quilts site, and they're having a block of the month for the line of fabric that she's just releasing on Coriander Quilts. She is having a block of the month, but you don't have to have her line of fabrics. You can just use your scraps if you want to, and that's what I'm going to do. So this is the first block that she released for January, and this is free. Go to the Coriander Quilts blog, and you can download these instructions. And I'm going to be working on this too. I have to pick out fabrics I'm going to just pick out fabrics month by month, I think, and work on that. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I have is, this is the Open Gate January project, which is lilac lace, and I got this pieced. So all I have to do is quilt this. I'll probably be doing that later in the week, maybe this weekend. But this needs to be quilted. Quite lovely. I had some initial problems here where I was tired because I wanted to get this made because I love it. But I used the wrong strips. I used the 10-inch strips instead of the 10.5-inch strips. And when I went to piece these to get this together, you can see I was short. So I ended up just unpicking the ends and just taking and piecing a little piece there. Won't be seen. Nobody can see it unless I point it out. I pointed it out to you, but I won't be pointing it out again. And I had this wonderful fabric in my stash that I'm using for the backing, and look at how wonderfully it goes with that. That's like it was made for it. So yes, and I did not hardly have any fabric left from the Seers Club. Usually there's more, but this is all I had left from Seers Club project. So that was pretty close. And this, again, Renee's retreat bag. If you want to go over there and order that. So this week, I'm still doing the Open Gate Quilt Challenge, which is sewing minimum of 10 minutes every day. I'm still participating in that. I've been doing that. No problem. Placemat loom. Did a little bit on that, 30 minutes, maybe a little more, but I got a little bit more done on my placemat loom. Cutting scraps, I'll be doing that 3 times a week for 30 minutes a day. My January no-buy. All right. I didn't buy anything that was, you know, spur of the moment, unneeded. What happened on Wednesday was my iron came crashing down off my ironing board and just broke the knob into smithereens. I have no temperature control. It isn't heating up enough to flatten things, and I can't tell if it's on or off. The light is always green, but anyway, it's an Oliso, you know, one that moves up and down, you know, you put it and it goes and lifts itself up. I was having troubles anyway with the cord getting stuck in there. So I went on Amazon. I watched Matante Quilting, her YouTube channel, Matante Quilting. And she recommended the an iron, the Reliable Velocity 270 iron. So I ordered that, and you can shut off the auto turn off where it turns itself off after you haven't used it. You can actually override it so that it's on all the time, and it has a cord that turns. Mine was supposed to turn, but it never turned, and it was always getting in my way. So we'll see if this works any better. But I do have a new iron coming. I did have to spend for that, but that's needed. You have to have an iron. I've been using my mini iron in the meantime, but I need a big iron for my larger projects. So anyway, I want to thank Dixie Quilters for recommending Coriander Quilts Block of the Month. That looks like it's going to be really fun. And there's going to be a bonus project with some, like those little squares that I've been making out of the cutoffs she's got those too, and she's going to do a mini project, a bonus mini project after we do this other project. So that's going to be fun. I'm excited about this coriander quilts block of the month. You should be too. Go and check it out. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Crazy Moose Fabrics UFO Challenge, and my Kim Deal blocks and scrap cutting, and finishing up these projects, and figuring out what to do with my quarterly UFO challenge, Judie's album quilt. But that's for this week. So I hope you guys have an awesome week. And so I'm going to be snowed in, maybe. So I'm going to be sewing. All right. Thanks for joining me. And if you've made it this far, subscribe and get all my notifications. Thank you.